All right, today we're going to show you how to make fresh pasta. So super easy, just a couple ingredients. 1 pound of AP flour or 00, 4 whole eggs, and then about a tablespoon of water, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, kind of depends on the humidity in the air. And we're just going to kind of, with a fork, bring this together until it starts to form small little balls of wet flour and dough. And we're going to turn this onto our work surface, and we're just going to knead this by hand. You can definitely do it in a machine as well. I like to do it by hand so you can feel the different stages of the dough. And we're going to keep kneading. This is going to be a long process, but it needs to do it, and you'll see it come together. It'll become a little tacky and smooth, and you're going to let this rest for about 45 minutes at room temperature. This is after about 45 minutes. You're going to want to press your dough down so that it can fit through the machine. So if you have a rolling pin, go ahead. You can use a rolling pin. And we're going to put this through the machine at the biggest opening. You don't want to pull it too hard. You want to be gentle with the dough. And we're going to now fold this dough like a little envelope and again send it through. And this is going to help develop that gluten and add that bite to the final product. And one more time. So this is just developing that gluten in that dough so that at the end of the day you have a little more texture in the pasta. And then from this point we're going to send it to the machine. I like to send it twice through each setting. You'll notice if you send it through once, the dough kind of retracts back to its original size. So take your time, add a little bit of flour if it feels a little wet, and twice through each setting. And you're going to go till about the second to last setting to last. So you can see your hand through the dough. And as you do each portion, make sure you do flour the sheets so they don't stick to each other. Believe me, you'll come to regret it if you don't add enough flour and you end up with all these sheets that are stuck together. So this is great for tagliatelle or agnolotti, as you'll see later. But we're going to do a different shape now. So here is going to be cavatelli. So this is gnocchi-esque, if you would. So we're going to split the ball doughs into 3 separate pieces, and we're going to roll them out into a long, almost rope. And I'm going to show you 3 methods of making cavatelli. So you can see on the right-hand side, this is a cavatelli machine. So you literally send the rope of dough through this, and it will make the cavatelli shape for you, as you'll see here. You can get your hands on one of these. They're great. They can be a little temperamental at times, but you can go through a lot of dough very fast. The other option that I'll show you is how to do it by hand. And there's 2 methods to this. So the first will be on a wooden board. So again, you're going to want to roll this out into a rope, go a little thinner this time instead of what you saw on the machine. And we're going to now divide this rope into the portions of cavatelli. So about a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch in length each piece of dough. Again, on a well-floured surface, so they don't stick together. So go ahead and divide these up. And then, as you're going to see here, this is the board I'm using. It's got lines through it, little grooves, and you're just going to take it and push hard towards you with your fingers, and this is going to create that little pocket inside of the cavatelli, as you'll see there, and all the grooves where all the sauce will get caught to. So if you don't have this, the other option is to use a fork, and kind of with that same motion with the fork, pull the dough towards you. You can do this with a knife as well, like a butter knife, and you can get those grooves in there too. If you can get your hands on the board, they're like $10 or $5. They're a great investment, and you can do a lot of shapes. So here you can see on the left the fork, and on the right the board. And then finally we'll do some stuffed pasta. So these are the sheets that we did earlier. So we're gonna cut this right down the middle, and we're gonna make agnolotti. So the end product, these will look like little pillows. Here I'm gonna fill them with a carrot puree. All right, so remove any of excess flour because this is gonna not help when it comes to sealing the dough itself. And we're gonna take your piping bag or however you're gonna put the sauce or puree on here, and we're gonna create a little line along the edge. Add a good amount, don't be shy. Wet it, and we're going to roll that corner over on itself, cut off any excess, and then we're going to pinch these closed so they look like candy. And then we're going to cut them. You can use like a knife as well and seal them. So here you can get a different angle. Add your sauce to one edge, water right above that, fold over on itself, and then pinch closed, remove your excess, and here's the pinch. So they look like little candies. And then here I'm using essentially a pizza cutter, and it kind of rolls over and seals itself. And then just a little seal with your fingers just to make sure everything is closed off properly, because they can open up in the water. So here's all of them. They look like little pillows. The sauce kind of gets stuck in that little folded area that you see there. And then fresh pasta cooks relatively fast. These take about 1 minute or less in boiling water. So this is just a little bit of almond and Parmesan broth with carrot filling inside the agnolotti, and finish with a little pecorino. And then for those cavatelli that we made, pork ragu, you can go check that recipe out. It'll be up quite soon. And again, these take a little longer, about a minute and a half, because they're a little thicker. But fresh pasta cooks extremely fast. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, follow us, subscribe, and be sure to go check out our website so that you can follow along with the full recipe.